Hello and happy Monday. It's me, the Pivots Queen, and I'm here to give you my weekly analysis. First off, let me apologize for not posting a video last week. Life just got super busy. So I wasn't able to post a video, but if you were in my Telegram group, which will be linked down below, you should have got my charts at least from last week. And if you know how to read charts, then you definitely got paid. And if you don't, I promise stick with me. My charts are the cheat sheet. Okay, so first I'm going to go over the DXY. Something I noticed and I also want to apologize for, I haven't been sharing my DXY charts in my Telegram. I've been sharing every chart, but the DXY is so important, and I don't know why I forgot to share that one, so I'm going to share this chart as well. But I am going to start with the DXY. I'm going to try to quickly overview the setups for last week, as well as what I see for this week. So I'm going to try to make this video quick, but I want to give as much information as I can. Also, I can't guarantee that there will be a video next week, so it might be another week without a video. I'm in the process of moving, so I have a lot going on, and I'll be moving at the end of the month, so I'm going to try my best to be consistent with these videos, but bear with me if I'm late or if I miss a week. I have a lot going on this month. So yeah, let's dive into this. So this is about 11 a.m. EST right now. This is an extremely weird time to be recording a video because the market is still going. But Melvin actually caught his first fever last night, so I wasn't able to record a video yesterday, and I'm trying to record this one as quickly as possible. So sorry, I probably talked way too long for this intro. Let's just go ahead and hop into the charts. So starting with the DXY, I've been waiting for this to buy. I think when I first marked this up, I was expecting a bounce here. We actually didn't get that bounce until we broke this trend line here. I think price was here last video that I made, and I was expecting price to come back down and then continue up. Price did that. It formed this upward trend line that it never broke. It finally broke back above this blue trend line. And so since we saw the DXY spike up like this, we should have been expecting sells from everything that I mark up. Anyway, we should have been expecting sells. And that's kind of how I choose my pairs and how I trade them, right? So we saw the DXY go up last week. What am I expecting for this week? I'm actually expecting it to come to this minus 61.8 of this fib that we've had since forever. Price originally came to the 23 and then came up to 27, but it was a shallow retracement. So price came to the 618 of this fib, and so I'm expecting it to finish this fib out. So come to this minus 618 area and then kind of see what price does from there. I think I was looking at this on the day chart, and it's also the 8 on the day, so we could see it sell from there. But that's kind of what I'm looking for this week, just to come up to the zone. I don't know if it's going to go straight there directly or if it's going to have a pullback first. A lot of times when we have a big move on Friday, Sunday and Monday tend to finish out the move. And you're actually going to see that in the other charts that I go over, because a lot of the other charts might be finished before this video is posted. But hopefully you can learn from it, see the setup again, or wait for a new setup later on this week. All right, so let's move on. NASDAQ, NAS 100, and we were in consolidation, right? I believe I did calls. Did I do it? I can't really remember when my last call was. My last 2 weeks have just really been a blur. But we were in consolidation, kind of waiting for this to break out of consolidation. I'm going to go to, so I'm going to pull up the chart that I sent last week into the chat so I could see where price was. So price was respecting this black and purple trend line. Okay. So price was in this area when I sent this chart markup, right? And I stated if price breaks below the purple zone, then you could get in for a sell, I believe. Price didn't break below that purple zone right at 9:30, like the opening bell. It broke through after, like at noon. So I got into that sell. It hit my TP1. It came back to entry. So it took me out. The following day, I had a buy limit because I felt like price was going to bounce from the zone and my limit didn't activate. That's what it was. Last week was full of limits that did not activate for me. But I did get a couple trades. So my buy limit didn't activate, but it came back and retested. So when I gave you the trade setup, I was waiting for the break of this purple zone. It broke and retested and then sold down. And I sold down. So I sold down to this green zone. I did have swing levels set, but I was just so busy last week. I wasn't able to trade like I wanted to trade. But you can see I had alerts to all these levels, and these were all my swing TPs, and just about every one of them is about to be hit. But it is cool. So this was Thursday, I think, and then Friday kind of continued that move. So this is a crazy sell from NASDAQ. What am I expecting this week? So I'm really just waiting for price to pull back. I actually have it going down further, down to this green zone eventually. This was my short-term target, and it looks like this is probably going to hit before the video even gets uploaded. But I'm waiting for a pullback, like a pullback to this trend line, just to kind of see what price does. If price respects this trend, then I can see some continuations. If it pulls back further, then it'll pull back further. But overall, I'm waiting for a pullback for a sell continuation. Once you look at this on the, it's going to be super messy. Ignore all of my fibs. If we look at this on the day, yeah, I told you it's going to be messy. On the day chart, I actually had a swing sell from way up here, but price has been selling basically all year long. That was April. But if we look way, way back, December, January, Nas has been in a sell trend. And so this is the 8. I actually am expecting price to come lower. If I look at like my bigger overall fib, this is like the target, but that's really projecting. So I can't say price is going to reach there anytime soon or this week, but that's my like swing target. But if you look at for right now, I'm just waiting for price to pull back, at least pull back enough so I could draw a fib, because we haven't had a pullback on this down move at all since it started. And it even opened with a gap in here. The market did open with a gap, but price is still going. So we have to be patient with the market and wait to see what it gives us. A lot of times when, like I said earlier, when we see a big move on Friday, Sunday, and Monday, we'll kind of finish out the move. And then when we see big moves, we tend to see consolidation afterwards. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little more consolidation before a continuation. So that is what I see for NODs in a nutshell. That sell move was crazy, and if anyone actually took that trade from that chart, that's a lot of pips. So yeah, so now we have AUDUSD. So the chart I sent for AUDUSD was this. I was waiting for price to come back to this trend line to get in for further sales, and I was looking to sell it down to like this green zone. So now, if we look at it now, price did pull back to that trend line. and it sold down to the green zone. Ended up selling down further, way further than that. So if you take the zones, you move your stop loss into profit, and you kind of trail your stop loss. You could cut really the rest of this move. So what I see for this week, I'm expecting price to come down to this next zone. That's also going to be retesting the top of this sell channel that it broke out of over here. So I'm looking to see if price is going to come and retest this channel, and either it could do one or two things. It can retest and bounce off this channel and keep going up, or it can retest and break back into the channel and start trading within the channel again. Price can do that with channels as a whole. Different learning subject in its own. I plan on teaching channels soon. But that's what I'm looking for this week for AU. Again, I'm waiting for a pullback from my entry, like a pullback to this trend line, see if it respects this trend line so I could get in for a sell continuation, or if it breaks and retest, maybe buy up a little bit to the next zone. But overall, my bias are sells, because I'm expecting the DXY to push up. So if the DXY is moving up, AUDUSD will be moving down. Right, so that's AU. AUDJPY really was showing out, okay? So last time I talked about AU, or AJ, sorry. Last time I talked about AJ, I was expecting price to pull back to this trend line, hit this minus 61.8, and then I was going to start looking for sells. But I was really waiting on the break of this trend line to get in for a sell. And now you can see why I was waiting for the break, because if I got in too soon, obviously I would have been hitting stop loss. But once I got the break of that trend line, I also had a break of the zone. I got a sell for 70 pips. That's how much it was in profit after I showed my markup. Let me go here. So AUDUSD, this was the markup before, right? And I was waiting for the break of this trend line to get into a sell. When I updated the Telegram chat, it was about 70 pips in profit. My TP would have been at the next zone, and it definitely went further than that. So that was AJ. A beautiful trade. It took some patience. You had to wait for a while for it to actually break this trend line. That was like a week. You know, it took like a whole week for it to finally break the trend line to get the sell I was looking for. Where I see it going to now, so this blue zone is where I see it targeting. I do have a channel on AJ, so this was the top of the channel. So this down here would be the bottom of the channel. I don't know if you can see this green line. Let's see if I can make it darker. There we go. So this is the bottom of that channel. So I want to see, again, if price is going to come and respect this channel and bounce up, or is price going to break and retest and then sell down to this next zone? Those are the one of two options that I'm looking for AJ this week. Again, price, I really want price to pull back for me to enter into this trade. So pull back to this trend line, see how it respects this trend line to sell down, or if it breaks and retests, taking it zone to zone. He was my favorite of last week. Honestly, it just seemed like the cleanest. So this is EURUSD. I was saying if price respected this trend line, then you could see sells. Price ultimately did respect that trend line. It did a wick above, but it didn't like body close. Really, did it? No, it didn't really body close above this trend line. So we respected that trend line. I was expecting price to kind of come and touch this green line because this is the top of my channel. So that's why I set my stop loss the way I did. But definitely well worth the pips. I TP'd out here. I could have taken it to this next zone. But I wasn't expecting price to sell off the way it did. So now for this week, this trend line is kind of tight, but the sell off happened kind of quickly. So I'm really just looking like a pullback to here really wouldn't be much. So I'm waiting to see if it's going to break and retest this trend line, maybe come back to the zone, and then sell down, but really just waiting on a pullback. My overall target is down to this green zone. This would be the bottom of my channel. Remember, this was the top, so this would be the bottom. So that's where I'm looking for it. Oops, sorry. That's where I'm looking for it to go overall. And then again, it's kind of just waiting for that pullback for that entry. Or, you know, if I miss the entry, just waiting to see what price does here, and maybe I could get in on the buy. But you just have to be cautious, especially after big moves that happen like that. We could see some consolidation after this, but you know, it's just kind of be patient and let the market tell you what it's going to do instead of you trying to guess what the market's going to do, right? And I could actually draw another level in here. That's a level that we could see some hesitation at, and I'm actually change this to blue. All right, so be cautious, but overall my target is down here. It's just kind of waiting for price to pull back. If I get a nice pullback on this, I could draw a fib. So that's really what I'm waiting for, a pullback. So I'm able to draw a fib, and my fib would go in the direction. So this is the sell trend. This is like a temporary fib. I can't really draw a fib here because I don't have a bottom, if that makes sense. Like, it's still going. I need it to pull back so I can have a bottom, and then I could tell where price will pull back to. Like, if I base it off of where it is now, yeah, that lines up. But I don't know for sure if it's done, if it's going to keep going or not. Like, that makes sense. So I really need this to pull back so I could draw a fib, so I could see where in the retracement, where can I get in at. So this is like temporary, but this is moving, because if it goes down lower, I'll have to move down lower. But if it does retrace from here, then that fib is fine. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Let's go over GJ. GJ actually was a nice trade. So this was the chart that I sent before. I don't know why I didn't draw that minor trend line in there, but hopefully you could see, I think, you know, this was like a minor trend line that you could have drawn in here, because that's what I ended up doing. For GJ, I drew a minor trend line. It broke and retested that trend line right at the R8. And it sold, and then it also made a double top with divergence. So when I updated, and this is about how far it was going, or how far it was in profit, this would have been like my target to see how it reacted to this trend line. Once I saw the break retest of this trend line, I definitely would have got in for another sell, and just taking it zone to zone. Right, so my target for GJ is actually just a little lower. It's just like the next two levels is where I could see GJ coming to. We could see it bounce from here because we are kind of at the zero on the hour. But yeah, I see GJ coming down to this blue zone and then kind of waiting to see what price does from there. But this is like my overall target. If we get a nice pullback on this back to this trend line, again, I could draw a fib on that, and then I could get a nice entry for the continuation. But it's being patient and waiting on that pullback before I get in. Then gold, I didn't really have an outlook on gold last week because it was just in consolidation. Yeah, I couldn't give a clean setup for gold. It's been consolidating since the end of May. So I haven't really been trading gold since it broke out of this channel initially, and I bought up here, I think. But since it's been in this consolidation, I haven't really been trading gold too heavily. For this week, I actually do see gold pushing down to this level. Then after that, I kind of don't know. It can push up from there, or it can push down to this this green zone. But I really wanted to break out of this consolidation before I start trading gold again. So I don't trade gold unless it's trending. So you can see how my charts have a lot more markups and like entries and stuff like that when gold was in a nice trending channel. Look how nice and trending that was, right? And then we get here and there it's not really following the trend. So if gold's not trending, I'm not trading, right? But because I do see the DXY pushing up some more, I see gold pushing down some more. And so I think it's going to push down to this level here. We could see it go to this green zone, and then I want to see how price reacts from there. So that is all of my markups for this week. Sorry they're not like the cleanest or the most ready to enter. I'm hoping that next week, because we had the big move this week, maybe next week we could get a more cleaner moves or entries that are ready at the beginning of the week. Honestly, I don't feel like we'll really get setups until like Tuesday or Wednesday this week, and that's fine. We'll be patient. But yeah, make sure you like this video. You comment any questions you have. I feel like I was rushing through this because I'm trying to rush and get this video done. So comment any questions you have. Comment anything you want me to go over in more detail. Make sure you join the Telegram group so you can get these charts. You can get updates, after they play out a little bit. You can ask me questions in the Telegram group. I'm there to help you guys. So really just utilize the Telegram, utilize the comments down below. Be patient with me because I have a lot going on this month. I'm going to try my hardest to be consistent with every Monday. And then after I get done with this move, then you can expect a lot more from me because I'll be more settled. I'm still working on the course. The beginner's course is wrapping up. I'm so detail oriented. There's a lot more I want to put into it to make sure you guys are getting a lot of value. Once that beginner's course is done, I'm flying through the rest. So I can have a course out to you guys so you can look at my charts and kind of understand what I'm saying without me having to say it. That's the overall goal. I want you guys to be able to understand what's going on without me having to tell you what's going on, and you won't even need me. So when I have days where I'm missing or, a week where I don't post a video, you're able to make money on your own. That's like the ultimate goal. So stick with me, keep watching these videos. You'll definitely learn a lot. And there's a lot more projects coming out on the way. So I hope everyone has a phenomenal trading week, and I will see all of you guys next Monday.